Sometimes you just need to get on the camera and have a little chat. So I've been asked quite a bit recently, and I've given a lot of thought recently to whether or not I would ever want to own or run a retro game shop or a gaming shop of some sort. Now, it's a bit of a loaded question. My heart says, of course I would. I'd love it. It would be fantastic. What a dream job. Think of all the things you could develop. But my head's like, wait a minute, you have a full-time job on top of all your content. Like, how would that fit in? And that's that conundrum, isn't it? It's, you know, if I gave up my job and all this, then maybe you could move into that. I'm not willing to give up my full-time job, which I love. It's fantastic. I love it. To kind of take a risk to go into like a retro game shop business, for example. If the opportunity ever came my way and the offer was good enough, potentially. But as it stands, I've often toyed with the idea of selling online. But here's the thing. I've made it quite clear that I'm not a huge fan of resellers. Now, let me just break that down for you. What I mean is just people that are primary resellers. For me, it's passion over profit. And I've said that all the time. Like, for me, nothing beats blowing off the cobwebs, mental kind of cobwebs, than going out to a shop, whether I've been there before or never been at all, and doing a retro game hunt. I love the hunt. I love finding old games. I love finding new old games. I love making content. Like, that is my absolute passion over anything else in this whole world, aside from being healthy, of course, and my dog and Jess. You know, aside from those things, like, my hobbies, my dream is where I'm at right now. I'm content here, and I love it so much. Like, it makes me a little bit emotional, because I love it so much. But the only way I could ever sell online is like on a doubles, like if I have doubles of things, or if I buy things specifically knowing they're doubles. For example, let's say on Facebook Marketplace, I buy a Super Nintendo bundle for 60 quid and I can flip it and sell it for 120 or something like that, you know. So it's that, you know, it's just something like that, because I've got so many Super Nintendos and so many games. I, for example, purchased, it's over here, I'm not going to get it, but it's kind of over here, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Would I sell it? No. If I got a double, would I sell it? Yes, absolutely. I don't want to collect doubles and things, and when I do find doubles, I typically sell them on the Gebs24 Facebook page. However, and here's the thing, okay, I've considered getting a website together and just selling online. But then my mind's like, well, actually, hang on, if that took off, how are you going to have time to package everything up, get it out to the post around a full-time job? I'm not quite sure. And I wondered if anybody else had, you know, had any ideas or had been in a similar situation where you have a full-time job and maybe you wanted to kind of, I don't know, sell on Etsy some jewellery or something, like how that fits into your regime. Obviously, on top of a full-time job, I do this as well. I stream 3 nights a week on Kick. I make 2 YouTube videos. There's shorts 3 times a week I have to edit. I also have to have downtime and sleep and look after my own welfare, which at the minute I do, but I feel like I am absolutely at emotional capacity. So to take on a new website with a load of stock probably isn't within my emotional remit at the moment. It's potentially something I could do in the future, and obviously here in the UK we have Whatnot, but at the moment they don't allow you in the UK to sell video games. It's predominantly trading cards, and that isn't my primary market. My primary market are video games, game guides, anything to do with 80s and 90s and going into the 2000s, I guess, culture of gaming. Even just geeky stuff like, you know, my CRT there, it's got a built-in VHS. I love VHS as well, and I think that there's a nice market for the classic VHS. But I just sometimes feel scared to take the leap. I'm taking lots of leaps this year in my personal life, but that's whatever. Nobody cares about that. Nobody needs to know about that. But, you know, as far as kind of this stuff goes, I would only ever sell doubles, and if I ever acquired anything that I didn't have, I just can't sell it, because my heart is with the collecting over anything else. So for me, selling would have to go alongside a full-time job, because I think I'd struggle to sell full-time because I wouldn't want to sell anything. And weirdly, I have spoken to a few shop owners that are like me, where they get stock in and they want to keep it for themselves. They want to take it home. Eventually that novelty might wear off and they might sell it. Sometimes they keep it and they acquire it, and I think that is fascinating. I love having conversations with store owners that are passionate about video games, and they're not just there, you know, just to kind of flog. I think that's fine. If you do just want to resell, more power to you. Absolutely fill your boots, providing you're not hurting anyone. Who gives a crap? Like, nobody cares. Just do your thing and enjoy the process, enjoy the ride. So I just wanted to address it, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm nowhere near creating a website. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I will sell my doubles over on the Gebs24 Facebook. Go and give it a follow if you want, and I will just, or if I find that I don't use something, for example, what have I sold recently? I had some graded Pokemon cards I had no use for, Japanese stuff, you know, got rid. Things like that, that you kind of, you know, where your heart's not really there. My heart isn't within the trading card community. So that could be a potential thing that I could start looking at, because I don't care for them. I don't actually care. But my collection is my pride and joy, and that's just my 2 cents. But I will show you some really cool things. I'm going to show you these. These are still sealed. Now, back whenever they were released, these were a Tomb Raider trading card game that actually flopped. Believe it or not, these things did not sell very well. Now, if you hear the rattle, you can kind of hear the stuff inside. It is like a full game. But I actually bought these because I was intrigued with the art on the cards. So my stupid self says this: I want to keep these sealed and buy another set just so I can open and see the cards and maybe sleeve them up and put them in a folder. That could potentially be a stupid idea, I know, but I do believe these hold some value. Not just sentimental value, but some monetary value as well. And again, not that I would sell them because I think they're great, but I'm going to display these as is, and I'll probably just buy another set so I can open them and just enjoy the card artwork. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video. Another thing, I'm going to pull this over here. I want to show you this. Again, this video is like super duper messy. Let's get away from this flashing light. Hang on. Here we go. So this was picked up on this retro game hunt here. So we'll put them there because I'll tell you the story about them. But this is like Dark Dominion from 1993. And it is a series of trading cards that actually tell and read like a comic. So this was the set that I got, and you can see that there are some missing, but I absolutely live for the artwork on these. Check it out. How gorgeous does that art look? You know, the kind of expressions on his face, you know, it really just spoke to me. I mean, the eyes, the detail, everything just looked really cool. So because I wanted a complete set, I actually, oh, and I'll show you this as well. Hang on. Check this out. So in the back, you've got like a certificate. Well, it's not a certificate. Is it a certificate? It is. To receive your free Origin of Chasm comic book, complete the official certificate. So you get like a certificate of authenticity. And then you get these kind of lens quantum cards in the back as well. Like, check out the holographic vibe on that. But because that was incomplete, I actually bought a complete set on eBay. And then by stupidity, I actually mixed all these up by accident. So I need to go through and actually just kind of have them back in order. So there's every single card here. Again, I just really like how unique they are. Until the retro game hunt that I found them on, like until I did that, I'd never even heard of them. I think this was like a US exclusive, but if anybody can let me know, you need to let me know, because I just think this is bloody fascinating. And it's not quite the PAL variant, but I managed to score a Japanese copy of Auto Modalista. Now, if you've been keeping up with the retro game hunts, you know I've not had much luck in finding this. I had a double episode down at Birmingham Retro Game Market, and I very nearly grabbed it, as you can see here. So now we have the Japanese version, we have the promo version, so I need a PAL version. So my plan at the Doncaster Gaming Market is to go in with a list again and hopefully pick up a PAL copy of this. And also check these out. My good friend Heather, you need to check out Heather's podcast as well, actually. It's called Game Older Podcast. I will link it in the description. She sent me these. Now, these were apparently direct from PlayStation, professionally framed, and just celebrating various games. Gorgeously framed, very heavy, actually. This one, of course, being Destruction Derby Arenas. You've got a little bit of information there, the disc as well as the artwork. And we have some Formula 106. So again, she has a lot of contacts and previous staff at PlayStation. She also sold me one of these, which is a really sought after piece of kit, the Staff 2022 controller, the boxes in the eaves. So yeah, it's good to know people in good places, and please go and check out her lovely podcast with the guys as well. So win.